second episode of D&D Dark Sun. I'm playing Sylvester, an Eladrin Mystic.
Welcome back to the second episode. We just started it.
Isn't this the third episode?
Welcome to the third back episode. I'm Kale, the host, and I'm playing Sylvester, an Eladrin Mystic.
All right, that works. We're fair. I'm Zach. I play Grumble Huth, Huth being the actual name, and it's a barbarian halfling, kind of a far traveler looking for some culinary tastes, mostly of the humanoid kind.
I'm Ethan. I'm playing Lobu, a rogue elf. My shtick is I collect daggers and I like to sell things to people that probably aren't worth selling.
Alright, and I'm Nathan, and functioning as the dungeon master. There is a fourth member of the party, a half-elf ranger named Tristani. She's kind of the silent type and mostly just grunts and points at things. So, anyway, she's like an extra character in the party. Not really being played by anyone, but I guess myself. So, playing a Dark Sun campaign setting from D&D, which goes back to the 4th and 2nd editions of D&D, and we're updating that for 5th edition rules, because everybody's doing it. So, yeah. We've started in a large state called Tyrs, and it's kind of surrounded by mountains, and then to the east are a bunch of desert wastes and that sort of thing. And the town has been struck by tragedy. The sorcerer king who rules the place was assassinated. Tragedy. And the freed slaves didn't find it so tragic. But in the wake of that, there has been some sort of strange event occurring while the party was out and about doing a little mission. I think they were fetching eggs.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Got my
Anyways,
pet.
when they came back to Tyr, the town was like shrouded in fog and buried in clouds, and overrun by Dre, which are the equivalent of Dragonborn, but very skeletal dragon-like creatures who were like harvesting these like eggs full of people, and just kind of had the run of the town. And there was a large stream of refugees exiting the town.
Yeah.
And then they entered our last session, which you can watch. Pretty much the party went in and investigated, climbed to the top of a ziggurat, large pyramid structure, and then were chased from the town by angry Dre, like a lot of them. And I think there was some sort of a horde of people that may or may not have resembled zombies that also got encountered. Did you watch our stream from last week?
I tried to. I just had no internet when I did.
So no.
Yeah,
All right.
I got no idea what's going on.
Well, you...
We're leaving.
Grumble.
We're on,
Where was he in this?
Okay, we can. So you're just following along in the party. I'm pretty sure you threw a couple of hand axes and things.
Oh yeah, you now made friends with the captive that he tried to
Hold on.
rob.
Yeah, so your Inex got left behind.
No.
But
It's my legs.
No, it did. It definitely.
It's my legs.
You have new legs. You have ant-like legs. Everybody's not riding kinks, which are large ant-like creatures.
I'm bringing my Enix. I'm going back for
well,
Inex.
it's in the fog.
The Inex
It's
is
just
probably
full of zombie creatures.
Nathan, let me
You're
guess.
saying
Later on, the Dre are probably gonna have his Inex, but it's gonna be grown up and recognize them, and whenever we're fighting them, it might not try and kill you, or it might try to.
no,
kill
I'm
you.
going back into that town, and I'm going to give my family call.
Sylvester
to
definitely like holds him back mentally, like makes him where he's like trying to leave but can't because he's stuck in this like brain freeze.
You
literally,
can't
though.
freeze a brain that doesn't exist.
You're mindless.
I want my child back.
I think he had siblings.
Yes, like the Inex.
Yes, so they explored the town. They went up to the top of the ziggurat. There was a prisoner, a woman. They freed her. She fled with them. The Dre that had held her captive chased everyone out. while you were running past the ziggurat on the eastern edge. Oh, we have a map. Along the eastern edge of the ziggurat, there is a large host of people milling about that also begin the chase.
All right.
Yeah.
Here's our map.
I'm gonna hold the edge real quick,
Yes.
and then we'll show. Yeah. So the party came through here, up the ziggurat right here. That's where you freed the prisoner. Then fled back down here, and then through these buildings to the Elven Market. And right here, I think you guys could see there was like this huge host of like people, and they started moving. So there's all this kind of like, yeah. Anyways, fled through the caravan district, and from the caravan district, you grabbed some kinks and fled through the gate, and that's where we left off. Fleeing out the eastern road out of Tyr.
Nothing funny about that.
He just broke his funny bone. You're expecting a disabled man to do this.
I apologize.
Wait, you're not gonna be funny tonight?
I'm not
Funny for you?
disabled. I'm differently able.
Ethan? Oh, differently abled. Okay. Alright.
Alright, so you are all riding on the backs of kinks. Let's go ahead and establish the party order. So who's like first, second, third, fourth? Or are you side by side with anyone?
I mentally nominate Grumble as the party leader.
I also mentally nominate Grumble as the party leader.
How about the party order? Who's first, second, third?
I think definitely I would go first. I would suppose that I'm the most used to traveling these paths, as
Okay.
Grumble is not from around here,
Okay.
and the Eladrin doesn't seem to know much of anything that's going on.
Do we
Right.
still have fog going
So
on?
the elf is
Yes.
first.
Great.
I definitely know what's going on. I'm
I
trying
still
to
need
be-
the party order.
I'm second. I'll be second behind.
Are you bringing up the rear, or is Tristani taking up the rear?
I'm going in the middle.
Okay, so Tristani's going last. All right.
My kink has to be faster than all the others, but like I still
So
keep it in
I'm
the
assuming
middle.
all of you are following the person in front of you, unless you say otherwise.
Yeah.
I believe, had you dropped a sack of coin or something?
Oh yes, I definitely went back for that.
Okay, so you stopped to retrieve your coin. All right. So anyway, so you're
Oh.
kind of in the lead. So you're gonna kind of take over here.
Yes.
He can go back and get
tried
his
to-
coin,
Ethan tried to
but I
sell
can't
me
go and get
something.
my Inix.
Ethan tried to sell me something. And I
I didn't say
definitely
that.
wanted to take the offer.
Of course you could.
I'm gonna go
I
back
mean-
and get my Inix. I'm on a kink.
Do you actually turn around?
I proceed along the path. I'm on my way to the closest villages to see if any survivors are there and warn them.
You would
And
recall
or-
from before
Not warn them.
when you guys were returning to Tyr, the path you were fleeing down now was where all the refugees were fleeing from the city earlier. I guess that would be earlier this morning.
Mhm.
It's now late in the afternoon. The fifth member of the party is the captive that you freed. Where are my notes? Sefini. She's a human female, and so we'll say she's riding behind you, but ahead of Tristani.
All right.
So, so you guys pretty much fled through the town gates. Now you weren't here, obviously. So,
Yeah, I've been searching for my Inix ever since. Like that's what I've been doing when I was
I
gone.
think he was just kind of dazed. While
I
we were in the
believe
fog
your
area.
Inix was left at the gate, so if you just go right to the front of the town.
it was
no?
at the base of the.
It was
Oh,
at
at
the
the-
base
at
of
the
the
ziggurat?
of the ziggurat. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I was climbing the ziggurat with it.
Hey, but fun news! I learned that our kinks can just climb the walls.
Kinks.
Our kinks.
Kinks.
Yeah.
Our kinks and our kinks. Our kinks can just run straight up walls.
That sounds pretty kinky.
I tell you that in your head. I tell
Really
you that in your
kidding.
head. Yes,
my
Grumble is
Inix
told-
could also run up walls.
I guess your Inix could run up walls. There's almost.
I'm making. This is not a fair trade. I'm losing my child for an.
I mean, you stole it from
Kink.
its mother.
Man.
It's my child. I don't want this kink.
So I'm going to move forward along the path.
I'm gonna break off. I'm gonna search for Hubert. My Inix.
Hubert?
Hubert.
Oh, I didn't realize he had any.
He has a name now.
Yeah. So I push forward. At some point, I think I'm going to allow Sylvester to move to the front as I go back to talk to the captured, uncaptured slave, not
So
slave.
you
woman.
kind of like slow down.
Yes.
Kale, your character, I guess, kind of like takes point or takes the lead.
Just follow the path.
Yes.
I mean, it's a giant road. So
Yeah,
it's like a
like-
metropolis. So like their trade caravans could go side by side in opposite directions. It's a pretty large path. From previous travel, anyone who's left here before would know that there's a village a day's ride east, or a day's walk east on foot. So actually, by Cankback, you would be maybe a quarter to a third day's journey. If you pressed hard, you could get there probably by like nightfall or just shortly after nightfall. But you'd have to press pretty hard to get back there in time to the village.
Well,
But
hard
Kinks can travel
pressing.
really fast compared to like they're like
Walking.
gigantic insects, like ant type creatures. So.
I think that we would head there pretty quickly because of what we saw. At least my character, Sylvester. Sorry, I'm
Now you're in the
Kale.
front, so.
Yes, I think Sylvester says this to everyone. Hey guys, there's a thing up there, pretty far.
I mean, at this point,
Let's go.
you'd be talking to 4
Is
people.
it bad if I'm hearing that in Elf's voice?
Oh wait,
Hi, it's my dad.
I haven't seen Elf in years.
Okay, no, come on guys. We can go this way, east, and we will definitely be in a village within the next day. Well, I guess we're on Cankback. We'll be there before the next day.
So
Let's go.
You're
quick.
only talking to like 3
I'm
party
talking
members.
to you, I'm talking to all of you guys.
Yeah, because I'm heading back to that ziggurat. I'm getting my Inex.
Yes, you guys now notice that your barbarian halfling is no longer with the party.
Do we see the barbarian halfling? Can we
You see
him?
the back of him barely, and the back of his cank as he like disappears through the gates of the city, going back inside.
I think I stop my tank and I say, "Hey, Lobu, should we go get him or should we keep going?"
You'd hear a distant
Gilbert! We did just meet him, and you and I have been traveling together for a while. Would it make any sense for us to go back and get him, or like, is he vital?
I need the manpower, personally.
I guess you and I are frontline fighters, and he kind of is. What's the name of the NPC?
The one you rescued?
The one that we rescued, yes.
Safini and Tristani.
Safini,
Tristani is
okay.
the halfling or half elf ranger, and
Okay.
Safini is the
I'm gonna
human,
say, hey,
fleet
hey,
captain.
Safini, was it? Are you a frontline fighter?
frontline fighter.
Do you fight in the front line? Can you be our, defensive person if we're getting overrun by hordes of?
I can defend myself, but I'm better suited to administrative tasks.
Okay, yeah, I think we should probably go back and get our halfling.
Alright, I'll go back and help you for the rest of your gold.
Are you mad?
He is, and we would be if we didn't go get him. So I believe that I kind of like turn around or that. Like we of course stop and they're talking, or we're like kind of just trotting forward, and then I say, well, I think it would be if we didn't go get him. So I start to turn around.
Ooh, wait, I'm gonna stop you before you go. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Someone should stay outside the city in case this goes badly. Why don't you give me all your gold and your stuff, and I'll stay out here and protect it while you go back into the city? So that way, if you die, that we're not all ruined.
Safini
and
says,
die here in the wasteland.
there's no way I'm going back inside the city.
Here's Safini, and I hand her like a pack of like 10 gold pieces. And I say, keep this safe.
She's like, I'm not leaving my mount. If things go badly, I'm leaving at first opportunity. We'll give you an hour. But we must go before it gets dark.
I think that's very, very fair.
Alright, so are you going to hang back with Safini?
Yeah, definitely.
outside the gate?
I think I've realized that this is a bad idea and probably not worth it. Because I have everything I need, so I can leave.
Well, from experience,
God, that's
like
a
just to
lot of
metagame a
bad
little bit, I think
guys.
splitting a party is always an excellent idea.
You know what? You're probably right. Yeah, you go on ahead. You go get him. I'm gonna go forward and leave Safini here, and we'll just meet up in the next town.
Alright, so you're going back into the gate.
Yes,
And,
I'm going after a halfling.
Tristani's going to follow you, because waiting outside is... Well, she doesn't say why, but she follows you in. Okay?
What are you coming in for? What are you coming in for, Tristan?
And she kind of like points ahead, and you can hear like the echoing off the... Can you hold up your die as well? And just kind of like wiggle it. No, the one I gave you. I gave him earlier some inspiration for his roleplay. He has a charge back after his mount, which is
On a different mount.
a bad idea. But because he's risking his character for the sake of roleplay, I'm giving him inspiration. So at our table, we represent that with off-color D20. So
All right.
All right, so we'll cut to you in a moment. We can actually hear your location. So
So Tristani and I are. Oh yes, I say to Tristani, I'm saying like, "Why are you coming?" So then she points just like at the halfling, or points in the direction of the halfling.
Which
I
is-
believe that is he already in the gates, like past the gates?
you can't see him. You can hear
Is there
him
like a
further
hill?
along.
Is there like a hill, or is it just
It's
like
a city. This is
Okay.
the same path
How
you
far?
traveled
I'm saying like
earlier.
how far away are we from the city?
You've already
how far
passed
did
through the
you-
gates.
Okay.
So you're back inside. There's fog up to like your knees.
So
even
he's
though
just
you're
like
mounted.
screaming through the city.
Uh-huh.
I believe that I try to hone in on where he is, and then I just kind of like kick my kink into high gear, and I get kinky with it.
You're getting kinky with it?
I'm getting kinky with it.
I
I'm
can hear
speeding
Will
up.
Smith in the background right now.
Well, regardless, I'm doing it. I'm
Uh-huh.
going fast.
Okay,
Gotta
so
go
you're going
fast.
back towards the ziggurat, same
Yep.
path as last
Yes,
time?
yes,
Alright.
yes.
And
Same
Tristani's following close at your heels on her kink also.
Our original path, not the one where all the zombie things are.
Yeah, the original
Oh,
path
yes,
to the
okay.
ziggurat from
Yes.
the first time, not the exit path.
And I try to remember how I get there, how I
Yeah.
got there, so that I can.
It was just like an hour ago. It seems like a day, but it was very recent.
It almost feels like it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just about 1 week, you mean? A week and a day. But I don't know. It just feels so foreign, but yet familiar.
All right, so so you're right on the back of your kink. Describe the kind of the mental process your character is going through right now.
Oh, I just lost my pet. I mean, if you brought your pet, I don't know what you have, cat.
Cats.
Cat, yeah, okay.
Girl.
If you brought one of your cats and you loved your cat with all your life because it's the only thing you have a semblance of your old life in this new world, and you
But hang
left it behind in this dangerous city, you'd go back and try and save it.
But imagine it's just a giant lizard where it's that much cooler.
Exactly.
I'm not really a pet person.
Okay.
Is it like children?
It's like
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
Well, this is literally my child.
Oh.
Yes.
I
Not-
gave birth to this lizard.
But not
Not
literally.
literally, yeah. Not literally.
Yeah.
I think you're a male, right?
Yeah. I gave mental birth to this lizard.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like I imagined myself giving birth to a lizard once, and ever since I
can't
saw
imagine who would be responsible for that.
and then I, ever
Not getting
since
your reference.
ever since I've basically fallen.
I believe
in
your
love
character
with
is has mind control powers.
Oh. Yeah, I might have done that.
It was a weird dream. He was awake, walked
Can
on
I see how
guard.
can I see how successful I was?
Oh, you were. It was a natural 20.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have
You
to
only
roll.
roll
for
if
it.
there's a chance for failure, which
Yeah.
there wasn't.
Oh, there was
Because it already happened.
Yeah, you were on watch one night. And you thought, it'd be funny if he just gave birth to his lizard. And ever since then,
I think I did think that. You're right.
Sometimes your dreams actually come true.
exactly.
What if he?
That's a good moral to keep in mind. That is the entire story behind D&D 5e Dark Sun. Is dreams do come true.
All right, so
you
you're
can give birth to a lizard.
You're riding on the back of your
It's a fact.
your new mount, which doesn't feel right at all. It's
Exactly.
also much too large for you.
Yes,
in
I'm
your
like
opinion.
bumping. I actually on my way here between one of those two Huberts, you would have heard kind of like an "Oh God, my face!" because I fell off and I had to get back on.
I'm curious. So, like, is it kind of like a bike? Like it just kind of starts hurting, so then you stand up on top of it. So, like, you're just standing on its back, like riding it.
Yeah, that's when I fell off.
What are you holding
Yeah,
on to?
okay.
Like the antenna?
I think he's just balancing. He's just like kind of just trying to like.
You
steer
can't really
it.
see though, since you can.
Can I just see
where
a
you're
shadow of like this
at.
giant ant monster with with some hands and a head?
I think one of the buildings might be on fire at the moment. So as you turn one of the corners, are you standing or sitting down?
At this
on your
point,
bike?
I'm sitting, but I'm like really hunkered down because I'm afraid I'm gonna fall off
Okay.
again.
And then you can see like the shadow. You can't actually see him, but the
Uh-huh.
shadow is projected onto the building on your right, around the corner,
Uh-huh.
and you can see what looks like the size of like a 2-story tall shadow of your companion.
Oh, I definitely know exactly
In the
where that
firelight.
is, and I just go left right around that
Right,
corner.
and you just get a glimpse of him as he darts through, and he's almost to the ziggurat now. You've been skillfully like dodging and weaving your kink mount between all the large eggs that are like littering the main road,
Uh-huh.
and there's no sign of any Dre patrols or anything at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. I believe that I continue going behind him.
Well,
I'm riding towards the ziggurat with.
you can kind of see the top of it up in the distance, and it's kind of like propelling you forward. And at your last cry,
Daddy's coming.
as the words leave your mouth, your Kank kind of like rears up and it's like four limbs kind of go like this, and you can see as the fog kind of like swirls, you can see your Onyx is like
Hubert.
yeah.
Yeah, and I like immediately I jump. I don't know if I jump off.
Just
Ac-
full
acrobatics
speed.
check.
Just full
But-
speed. You just jump.
Yeah, like
You're flying at like 30 miles an hour.
18.
Okay. Yeah. So you
So,
can
yeah.
describe your
So,
flip. or
I like
whatever.
grab the Kank by like not really the head, it's kind of the mouth. You know, they got those.
Oh, the mandibles.
Yeah, the mandibles. I kind of
Wow.
put my hand between those two, force my way up, shoving it down, and propel myself forward onto the Onyx, do a flip,
You clear the
and
corner
land
just
perfectly.
in time to see this.
Yeah.
Like, you see him propelling through the air and landing in the fog, like a triumphant.
So it looks like he died. Does
No,
it
you
look
can
like
still
he
see him.
died?
He doesn't disappear into the fog.
Oh, I can still see him?
Yeah.
Miraculously.
Are you smiling?
I am as happy as I've ever
What are
been.
your hands doing?
Gesticulating.
Where do I put
Uh-huh.
my hand?
In which fashion?
You know, I didn't really think I'd get this far.
Oh.
So,
You're just like, wait, this
they're
happened?
kind of like this.
so yeah, I'm like in celebration.
Like air jazz hands.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sitting backwards on my Onyx because I did this front flip onto it. So I'm kind of sitting backwards, facing its tail.
And you kind of look around and like smile, like, did anybody
Yeah.
see this? And there is like a Dre standing there, like,
Look.
I think I tell him in his head, I'm going to say, we need to go now. And then I turn around and just dart off.
Get out of my head!
all right, let's see if you've been. Ooh, okay. All right, so
Ooh.
there are some. Your calls have also brought a contingent of Dre with a variety of armaments. Somebody roll me a dice 6. How many of them have bows?
Dinner!
4 of them have
Four
bows.
bowyers.
I have a question. So I said I'd dart off. If I were to see them, I probably wouldn't dart off. But well, actually, yeah, I think I just tell them we need to go and then leave. But am I stopped by anything? Like, is there anything on the path back?
I mean, Tristani's directly behind you, but the road is so wide you could just go around.
Oh, okay, so there like aren't any Dre like blocking off where?
No,
where I
they're
came
up
from?
ahead between him and the ziggurat. They're coming from the ziggurat direction
Oh, I got you.
towards the sound of his screams.
How many are there?
At least a dozen.
I tell you, I say.
If there were 6, I could probably
we need to go
handle
now,
it.
and then I turn around and leave.
All right, so I rolled some attack rolls. So the 4 bowyers
You went-
have. Yeah, one of the rolls was successful. I rolled with disadvantage. One of them still landed. So, anyways, you'll take 5 damage from an arrow.
Sweet.
But like 4 arrows of kind of and one of them like carooms off of you, and you can feel like this thing of like blood where the
You haven't been healed, Seven.
flint from the arrowhead is like scratched you open.
You haven't been healed. You just you've been hurt since we first were in
Yeah.
a fight.
I'll walk it off. I got like 3 arrows in me right now.
Fair.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
you do.
Since you're the closest to that, we can either go into a proper combat round, or since they're not within melee range, you could just flee
Are you
outright.
leaving?
You're mounted and they're on foot, so you could actually successfully flee.
Well,
without
since I got my Onyx here, I flip back around to the face of the front, which is going the way out where he is,
Yeah.
and grab my hand axe. I start charging forward to get out, and as I pass, I chop off the head of my Kank.
Oh,
He... wait. So you're just pointlessly murdering this cake.
no,
Well-
I think you made a point.
Yeah, I don't need
You've
it
served
anymore.
your purpose?
Yes, exactly. It'll
Oh,
never
boy.
be. Look, it's lived its full. it's lived a full life.
Roll a dice 20 for that attack. If it's a 1,
Just roll a
alright,
19.
that's
19,
fine.
yeah.
You kill it.
Sweet.
Alright. If it was a 1, it was gonna get stuck in it.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I chop it off executioner style, and I just rush out
Do you
there.
also catch like the entire? Because there was like this like entire like place with huts. Do you like catch that on fire as we leave as well?
I don't
With
have any
cakes in it.
fire starting ability.
Alright.
Oh.
Tristani looses an arrow and it kind of sails wide. Yeah, like way over their heads. And then she turns around and follows after the 2 of you. So you guys are now fleeing the city. Okay, so after it seems like about 10 minutes or so, the 3 of them come like racing out and he's on the Onyx.
I got Hubert.
And successful recovery of Hubert. Way to go.
Yeah,
All right.
rescue mission, man.
Alright, since we're running off of milestone XP, where we will level up at convenient points, you can go ahead and take 5 bonus XP for that.
Nice.
mission.
I got like none, so
Yeah,
where,
so now
where
you
am I
have
starting?
5.
Oh, so we're actually tracking XP now?
No, it's totally irrelevant, but you get 5 more.
Ooh, okay.
So
So, you're
they-
always going to be slightly ahead in experience.
I don't know. I have 1,000.
Now he has 1,005.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Do I hear 2,000?
I'll take 3.
All right.
1,000, 1,000, 1,000.
We did start the party
2,000
off at
for the
level
man in the
3,
red.
and at some point in the narrative, when it seems appropriate, we will level to 4. So you have successfully escaped the city, the city-state
Quite a village.
of Tyr for the second time. And all right, and now the sun is low on the horizon, and you would need to make haste to reach the village that you know is a day's journey away by foot. Yeah. So, are you going to go back to the lead?
Well, I still want to talk to this
Okay.
this woman.
We had 10 minutes while they were all kind of like.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hoping for that, but it just never happened.
This is like one of those
So
10
comment
minutes
earlier.
earlier.
Time. While you were away.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna after they've gone for a bit, I'm gonna ask. So what's the deal? Why were you tied up atop the ziggurat?
Well, mainly because I didn't die fighting like my friends.
Oh my!
You had
Not
friends?
not through lack of effort,
Not
obviously.
here.
I see. Now,
And she kind of pulls her like hair back, and and there's like a lump where she's been like brained, and like she's like, I was knocked unconscious actually, and tied up when I came to. I was in captivity. I believed I was about to be executed.
It wasn't for you meddling kids.
Yeah. So thank you for that, I guess.
now, is there any particular reason why they would have chased after us when we saved you? I suppose we did.
I don't know exactly what's going on.
Is this the point where we realize she's part of the Illuminati?
No.
You can see now that you
It's
kind of guys
alright.
have stopped fleeing that she's wearing the robes of a Templar, and then you would know from living in Tyr previously
Yeah.
that the Templars are kind of like the administrators and enforcers, and basically kind of like the clergy of the Sorcerer Kings. So when the
Okay.
Sorcerer King died, the Templars were kind of keeping the city from dissolving into chaos because slaves were being free and so on, and they had named like a temporary replacement king and so on from within their ranks. But the Templars kind of, there's a lot of infighting. It's like politics really.
Okay.
What did I say? Illuminati.
Yeah. So
Now-
now you recognize that she was actually one of the ruling parties like in the city. They kind of, some of them are enforcers. They're like the guards or police, and some of them are like bureaucrats or politicians. And so it's kind of like this. They enforce the will of the Sorcerer Kings.
Okay. So
And hers died, right? He
yeah.
was assassinated.
So I'm gonna ask what was your purpose before the fall of the Sorcerer King then?
Oh, yes, I ran the slave pens.
I like her. But
Someone
no.
like you running the slave pens and you didn't have a piece of gold on you. I find that hard to believe.
Oh, I have none of my.
How'd you notice that I didn't have any gold on me?
I mean, neither of us are there. We're just making.
And she kind of feels like for like a money pouch, but there's no. She's like, yes, I'm destitute. I was powerful once, like yesterday.
All right. So part of the slave trade, huh? I'm sure you're familiar then with some people in the next town over.
Mhm.
Perhaps you could help us secure some better lodgings when we arrive.
Should we go ahead and name the village?
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is the name of it?
Well, we can come up with it. We're also practicing a shared kind of like group storytelling experience where we're playing in like a sandbox. So outside of major named locations in the setting, we're going to be making up all the details as we go.
So...
Also, I want to mention, like, this is probably
Ooh,
the
beautiful.
point where the two timelines kind of collide, and you'd hear me fall on my face and
Yes.
shout about it.
So I think like right over here. We'll say like 3 hexes is like a day's travel, maybe on foot. Yeah, you guys previously went down here, so we just need to continue on. I don't have a pen on me, so. Oh, there's a pen right there. That's one we used.
Wonderful. Have a pen.
Yeah, we can name it. So it's a village. I think has anybody here like never left here before? Or I think all of you have traveled before. You may not have.
I hardly even know what Tyr is.
Yeah, it's that big city that you just left.
It's a big one, close to my home, but not at all close either.
Any suggestions for a name?
Well, if it's a small village, is it riverside or in a mountain pass or in the forest?
Like an English name, or do we want to come up with like a fantasy style name?
I was thinking something. Oh, I guess it wouldn't be by a river. I forgot we're in a desert wasteland.
Hubert the city.
No, I don't. I'm gonna veto that one.
Huberticus.
Hubertopolis, actually. I need to open the stream.
We could. I don't know. I was thinking like if it had been like a traveling place, it would be named after the inn there, perhaps. So like inn name like.
Stretch my legs.
I cannot think of an inn name that isn't water related.
Not
The Dirty
Aqua.
Rat Inn?
Yeah, but who's gonna call a town Dirty Rat?
The Sandy Cactus.
Well, it's a village. It's not just an inn.
How
so
about this? The
Right.
Sandy Cactus
Well,
is the
well,
inn.
What are nearby landmarks of this town?
There's some rocks.
Desert?
There's a lot of sand. There's a lot of dust.
It could just be
there's
the,
some more
the
rocks
village
and
could
more
just be
sand.
called Sandtrap.
Sandtrap? I think Sandtrap should be the name. Do you like it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna modify it slightly.
The Sandtrap.
No, that's a little too specific. It makes it sound important. This is a village.
Sandtrap Village.
Sand Crossing. No, that just sounds like a landmark.
How about like Chandrat?
All right,
Chandrat.
I can take that.
Yeah, with the R-A-T at the end, not an O-T.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Chandrat Village? Or just Chandrat?
Or we could do Chandrat.
Chandrat?
Rat instead of rot.
Sure.
Sure. But it's still spelled the same way, ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
there
all
we
in
go.
the pronunciation.
Yeah. You like me, Kel.
What?
Sesame one wasn't as good.
The sesame one wasn't as good as the peanut butter one?
Yeah, no.
Oh, we have mochi over there. And I think you agree that
Do you
sesame is
want to
much better.
describe what mochi is?
It's a gelatin based made of rice flour that they pound with mallets until it is. It's a delicious
is they?
The Japanese people.
The Japanese people.
You should totally watch YouTube videos of Japanese men
It's so
making
impressive.
mochi.
Yeah, no, but it's like a really good like snack food dessert type thing.
And we want to specify that all Japanese people make mochi. It's a situation of whenever they need more mochi, everyone's drafting.
This is getting controversial, I think.
How is the wait? I wouldn't call it controversial.
Back
just
to-
wrong.
Back to D&D. Back to D&D.
Yes. It's a very on-topic subject.
Okay. Chandrat is the name of our village.
Chandrat.
Chandrat. Okay, so, what are we doing
Let's see if you make it there successfully.
now? Oh, okay, yeah, good idea. I think I'm leading the way again.
How long does it take us to get to
You're the
Shamrat?
Yes, I
The rest
plan
of the
on
night
leading.
probably.
Get your D20 ready.
Get my D-tuned ready.
Everyone grabs a
My
d20.
D-tuned is ready to go.
Yeah, we got a chat.
Get ready to roll.
Actually, you guys are on a massive road. I think you're gonna make it there just fine. Actually, it'd be almost impossible to miss since you're on like a highway.
But the
Yeah,
crisp
plus there's all the
roll-
refugees going in
but the
before us.
crisp roll
Well, I was just
sound.
checking my navigation DCs. It says if there's a clear road or trail, then there's no DC. So
Oh, is that
you
the
succeed.
thing from what's it called?
Oh, so Kale's character is playing. He's playing a mystic class from Unearthed Arcana, so we're kind of playtesting it. I also have some playtesting rules for Into the Wild, which has some stuff for surviving in the wilderness. But since you're actually on like one of the only few like major roads in these lands, we'll say you make it just fine.
In the one world that'd be perfect for that, we can't use it.
And with any of this playtesting stuff, like with the Mystic class, and then what, like you said, Into the Wild is what it's called. You could Google search it and then just see everything we're going off of.
Yeah, just type in Unearthed Arcana, and then you can look at D&D Unearthed Arcana. So we're using the Mystic class and Into the Wild. So I checked for encounter on the first 2 hexes, and then we'll have an encounter on the final hex where the village is. So we'll say actually as you kind of crest a small low-lying sand dune, which has drifted over the main road just from the wind. Probably another batch of wind will push it off the road and you'll be back down to the markers and everything. But as you kind of like climb over the sand dune, you can see sprawled out before you maybe another 5 or 10 minutes away the lights of the village, Chandrat. And between you and it, you can still make out the road easily. The dunes have not drifted over the road entirely, just some isolated dunes. You can make out the straggling remnants of the refugees who are finally arriving as the sun has set. The sky has kind of gone from its typical red color to really deep purple, and the clouds are almost like black where there are clouds off in the far distance, many leagues away. And there's some isolated people have like torches and stuff to light the way, so you kind of have these speckles of torches kind of like flickering in the distance between you and the town. And the town has some illumination from some moonlight and also from within, from like lanterns and so on. So on the road between you and there are actually a trail of refugees. There's no sign of the elven tribe that was also riding kinks. They are not on the road ahead of you. They obviously would have arrived well beforehand, assuming they went here.
Of course.
So, how long has it been since Grumble's last meal?
Oh man.
Most of
probably
a day.
about 3 hours.
How many refugees have we seen pass?
Oh no.
Well, I guess there were probably a few dead refugees.
Wait, hang on.
Good. I'm gonna. What?
Oh no.
Were you just stopping for like a snack along the way?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Are you gonna cook them?
Oh boy.
Every now and
I
then.
think they've been baked by the sun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he want them raw?
Mostly, but it
Mostly.
You're
not
it's
uncivilized.
Meat. It's
guess.
meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The meat's very rare.
Do you carry rations?
I don't think he needs rations.
I
Yeah.
know. Hold on. Wait.
I just
Are you
eat
carrying
whatever
rations?
I kill or whatever is killed.
No. The question is, do you have rations on you?
I think you had an egg, right?
I got an egg, but I'm waiting so my boy can have a brother or sister or some third gender. I don't know what Inexes have.
Mystic lizard genders.
Yeah.
Lizard gender?
Lizard gender. I
It's
like it.
it's in flux.
Yeah, I just have the Inex egg.
It's a non-binary lizard.
It's trinary.
I like it.
Anyway.
So yeah, I don't have any. I might carry rations. I just don't have any on me. So I'm just kind of. We see like what kind of refugee? What kind of like?
Dead ones.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what race?
Oh, it's probably been mostly human. I think there was maybe a large Goliath that appeared to have been wounded and bled to death.
I just go for one of the humans, some cheek meat actually,
Uh-huh.
and pair it with some Pinot Noir. I got a wine skin with some.
All right.
Yeah.
Enough with this cannibalism for
Sorry.
me. I think that's enough for me at this point. All right.
After I'm finished
Can you
with that.
describe your character's strange fascination with this briefly for our audience?
Oh, halflings in this universe. I mean, they're still cute river creatures, but
No.
not even close.
No. They're
So
ugly
there's
forest
they
creatures.
they live really far away across this big mountain, and it's the only place where there's like
In the
trees at all, and they live there.
A large
And,
forest.
A very large forest west of some mountains, and very few actually cross those mountains. But Grumble Huth is he's over here because while they are cannibals, they tend to not eat each other, and there's not that much food that isn't halfling.
Yes, maybe less cannibals because they don't eat their own kind, but more carnivores and they eat other human kinds, like elves and humans and so on. They find them delicacies.
Yeah. Grumble's a very civilized one. You know, he carries a bunch of different types of wine with him for a pairing at all times.
I think you're a savage glutton.
And surprisingly,
Yes.
he hasn't even thought to eat us.
He
as
has.
We know. So as we know, yes.
Can you not read minds? I thought that was a thing.
I think I can.
He's just too
Can
disgusted
I
by
read
the
his
thought
mind?
of it.
Is his mind basic enough that I can read it?
My intelligence is 11. My wisdom is 12.
Yeah, definitely. I beat him by 7.
I think your intelligence and wisdom are almost comparable to mine.
Your wisdom is slightly less than mine.
Yeah,
but
I'm actually
only
just as
slightly.
wise.
We're all pretty average wisdom. Anyway, so as we approach these refugees, I might drop off my tank and walk along with them.
Oh, okay.
Is there a chance I could snatch some purses?
Oh boy. I think I'm actually going to try buying something from one of them before you do that, and you can just steal the gold back. I tell you this in your head. I say, hey, if you're going to steal gold, could you do it after I buy something?
We're doing this very morally ambiguously.
You're still outside of the village, and these are stragglers who have been fleeing for their lives, and they're very tired and dusty.
Yeah, I don't think we're
And
gonna
at
buy
your
anything.
approach, you're being noticed. But
I would figure we're riding.
I'll
large
say
creatures.
that there's kind of some dust kicked up from the large number of bodies traveling. So there's traveling dust, and so the vision's not great. And we'll say you kind of just walk alongside everyone. People kind of look at you warily at first, but after a little time of just standing among them, we'll say you kind of see a fairly portly merchant kind of guy. He looks like he's dirty, but he's got what probably at one point were well groomed cheek whiskers, and a display of gold necklace, kind of
Oh boy.
it's just kind of glinting, and he's got a purse at his side. You can attempt to remove it from him when he's distracted. He's actually leading like a mount, dragging like a beast of burden.
At
with a
about
cart.
this moment, I would pass by playing the blazoon,
The bazoon.
making a lot of noise.
And I'm trying to kind of blend in as an elven person, since elves are considered kind of thieves in this. So I feel like I would be someone who would help him out in his schemes.
That's what I'm
That
doing.
could have been my acceptance
You're gonna
fee,
distract
you
him.
know?
I actually have an even better idea. So I approached this merchant with my kank led behind me, and I look at him and I say, "You look like a man of wealth. I bet this walking's been hard on you, and I think I'd be willing to offer to let you ride my kank for a small fee for the rest of your journey."
I tell him. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a 14.
Okay. How? He just kind of starts to answer, and then he stops, and then he kind of rubs at his legs. He's like, "What kind of fee?"
Nothing too large.
Oh no.
Just your entire purse, that gold necklace.
No, I'm gonna say one gold pottery piece or gold ceramic piece. Yeah, gold ceramic piece.
Just call it. You can call it a gold.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
they're painted gold.
Yeah. So I'm only asking for a gold piece for it. Of course, this is only a short-term rental. If you'd like it for longer, it will be more. This will get you to the next town, but no.
So
further.
he
basically-
kind of waves his hand away, and he flicks you a gold coin, and he just seems like he wants to sit and not be walking anymore.
All right. So I take the coin. I presume he's a portly man. I don't suspect he's agile. Is he gonna need help up onto the tank?
No, he's not dying or anything. He can
No,
ride
I just figured he was.
it's saddled, so I think the straps are reachable. And he does tie off his other beasts behind the kink, so he can that creature will follow behind the kink.
I let Lobu onto my kink while we're riding. Can you have two people on a kink at once?
I mean, the
might
distance
be
is
able-
so short now. It won't
Yeah,
matter.
I'm just gonna walk.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a mile.
I believe that while we're riding, I'll kind of just talk to the older man, the older refugee,
The one he was just talking to?
Yeah, the one.
He wasn't older. He was portly.
The
rotund.
Yes. Okay.
Pear-shaped.
The portly one.
Oh.
I believe that I'm gonna be like.
Nomenclature.
So, what brings you over around here? Going to, I'm guessing Shengrad? I'm guessing you're headed here.
Yes, of course. We're practically there.
Yes, but what brings you here?
He just kind of like looks at you and he like looks back and you can see the city of Tyr like right before like the last vestiges of sun have like disappeared. It's like kind of got this eerie like red glow amongst the black clouds that are like spewing forth from the ziggurat. Which even at this distance, you can kind of like barely make out like the rainbow-colored peaks of it and the golden dome of like the main tower.
Whenever he looks back, is it like just in time to see a building crumble?
Well, let us consult the dice gods. No.
Definitely not.
No,
in fact,
he
you see
missed it by at
building
least
rise.
4 or 5 seconds.
Darn.
Does it look like the clouds on over top of the city are like getting lower as time passes?
No.
No. Okay.
It seems about the same. And then, while he's distracted,
So while he is riding on my kank,
Oh yeah, and he looks back and looks. He's talking to me.
so can he, when he's sitting, he's riding, he's facing forward, and his beast of burden is trailing behind.
Mhm.
What is his beast of burden carrying at a glance?
it's actually like an oxen hauling a cart. He has a cart of goods being trailed by it.
So, is it possible that I stand behind this cart so he can't see me?
Yeah, sure.
Can I take a look at what he's got in his cart?
It's covered with a tarp. Oh, you want to peek under the tarp?
Mhm.
It's kind of like lashed down. You want to untie it or slash through the ropes?
I was actually going to say, can I just cut a small hole in the back of the tarp?
Oh, yeah, easily.
I would like to
I
do
have
that.
a plethora of daggers.
I do have a great many daggers, and in fact, that's what I'm looking for,
You have-
is daggers.
Oh, more daggers?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not looking for gold pieces,
No, I'm really interested in his daggers.
but also gold pieces.
No, just daggers.
Is
What
that
about
this
gold
guy's
daggers?
a merchant? Do you want to interlude here and what sort of mercantile trade is this guy a part of that he would be fleeing with his goods from Tyr?
You know, it's I can't think of the word.
Can you describe it?
Yeah, it's working with like. Now, I've lost it. Remember Gara?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does whatever Gara did. He was a craftsman of some sort of metal.
Gara, in which game?
Not a game.
Oh.
It's an anime.
No, Gara from my D&D. The
Oh!
dwarf,
Oh!
the dwarf ranger. It was I can't remember the word.
Like woodworking?
No,
Like, is
like
it
a
like D&D?
metallurgy of some sort? Like
Yeah, it was a metallurgy
smith?
of some sort. He wasn't a smith, but he worked with like stainless steel type stuff, or tink. He made mugs. Like
Oh!
yeah, that's right.
He made mugs.
See, those are and you do not find daggers. Also, there is a lack of metal in this setting, so you find a large plethora of ceramic mugs.
Yeah.
Wait, so these
He's-
mugs are made of money?
He
Unpainted ceramics.
he barters in pottery.
I'm gonna take 2 of the mugs and just kind of put them in my bag, wrap them in that bolt of blue cloth I have, and then trail off to lead the kank that he's riding.
Could there also be a small selection of blazoons in there? Specifically blazoons.
No, what are
A
balloons?
rounded blazoon or an angular blazoon?
Rounded, of course.
Oh, no,
Darn.
there were not any.
What is a blazoon?
It's kind of, okay.
That's a very good question.
So it's kind of like the musical hand instrument version of a massive rainmaker kind of thing. You know, like where you shake
okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Except you shake it kind of like this. But
Okay.
there's a certain like percussion style to it, so you can kind of shake and percuss at the same time, and if necessary, there's a small flute running through the whole thing.
Yes. Also, the blazoons, they have an ancient history. Originally, blazoons were always made out of shards of bone, usually from creatures that were hunted or from like the femurs of your slain enemies. And so then when you kind of rattled and shook them, sometimes it was kind of like a taunt to your enemies, like when you went back to attack their village.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing more humiliating than being taunted musically by like a musical instrument made from the remains of like your former like brother or father or uncle,
Or just from your femur. Like
and,
maybe that was.
and
cut
so
off.
like they would battle chant with the blazoons, and that's why I asked about was it angular or rounded, because they also are used ceremonially.
Yeah.
And it is disadvantageous to use the angular or jagged or militarized version of the blazoon for ceremonies, because you'd be killing your own kind accidentally in the frenzy of like repetition and dance. And so they would round off with like stones and round off the end. So a rounded blazoon is not an instrument of war, whereas a jagged or angular blazoon can be used for war chanting and the slaying of one's enemies whilst making music.
Grumble prefers the rounded, personally. He thinks the sound is better.
The thwacking sound
It's
The
as a
thwacking
blunt
fluid.
instrument as opposed to piercing.
Yes.
okay. So are we?
Did you write down blazoon on your proficiencies?
I want
Yes,
to go
yes, I did.
to. I want to go to the town now and like go like sit down inside the town.
Okay.
So we proceed to move as we were.
So you're gonna bypass the refugees along the side of the road and just kind of like go on in quicker.
Yep.
Right.
Uh,
Are you done with? Well, let's see. You don't have a kink anymore.
I'm definitely walking directly like in front and to the left of the
Did you
camp.
add a gold piece to your inventory?
I did,
Oh.
as well as 2 ceramic cups. I'm going to
mugs. They're more like for consuming fermented kink
drippings.
honey. We'll call it kink honey. It's green.
I don't want to know.
I can't make this stuff up. It's in the setting.
No, that's real.
In the evenings, your kinks generally get milked for their milked for their honey. Not unlike a cow, but they don't like. They're like giant ants, so they don't have an udder, but they do have instead of like a gland for like a spider, like a spider. But instead they make these globs of like I think like a honeydew melon. Only it's like a glob of like gelatinous like green jelly honey that
like
saves many lives.
like a matcha mochi.
Yeah, like
Bring it full circle.
yeah, it's only the size of a melon, and it can
melon
actually
matcha
sustain
mochi.
you its liquid. Kinks are actually not edible. It's only part of the kink that actually is edible, and they're valued in the deserts for this reason because of that. And
Wait, so
some
what do kinks
enterprising,
eat?
huh?
So what do they eat?
I guess you could always observe them, and they're like grazing.
So, as with the mochi, is it a similar situation? And when we run out of the honey, we just draft all of the kinks in the area.
You
Yes.
just like milk the kinks for their honey.
Yeah,
Yes,
but only when we're out. We never make more when we have some.
Yeah, kink honey. It's also often fermented.
Ferment. Oh, so it, I mean, like what? So like a sip, a sniff. Like what gets you going off of that? So it's fermented.
Oh,
like how
no, I mean,
much?
it's just it's just fermented. Usually, the
how
usually
you can
people like
ferment.
get a vessel just for the fermented honey, and they'll spit in it, and they'll like kind of like stir it up in the bacteria and stuff. I mean, we're not going to get into like
Yeah, and that's why I
the
had to
fermentation
execute
process, but it's not difficult.
mine. That's why I had to execute mine to make sure that no Dre got the enjoyment of fermented kink honey.
Kinky mead. Kinky mead. Someone said.
Yeah.
Someone
Chad.
said.
Kanky mead.
Yeah. What save X4GG? He said. He said, kinky mead. And I think the proper is kanky mead. Can we agree?
Anyway,
Yes,
yeah. So
okay.
I'm going to be actually like in the front, to the left of my tank, leading it along.
Mead of the kink.
Oh, so you're just going to lead it on in?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to lead it in. That's going to take you a while. Probably the last to enter. The rest of the party, I believe, is headed into the town.
I'd say so. Yeah. I'm making music, just celebrating my blazoon. So I don't have much else to
So
do.
now, would the people of this village be afraid because he's come in playing this war instrument?
No, it's the rounded. It's
Well,
the
At
rounded
first they
blazoon.
might be, and then they realize that's a round one, and then they'd probably be kind of confused.
Yeah.
That, why
It's
is there a
not
ceremony?
ceremonial?
Yeah.
Halflings are a fairly rare sight. Also, you have
Oh,
like
God.
the dried blood from the various victims you've eaten along the way. So you're fairly terrifying, and people are already in a state of like near collapse and exhaustion. So as long as you're not approaching them, they're not going to approach
smiling.
you.
I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I'm writing an Inex. I can't be threatening.
Um,
At least in my mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we'll say that you reached the edge of the village unmolested.
Well,
That's
good.
always a positive.
Alright, we'll say you're the first one. Tristan, he's kind of like coming in right after him.
Remember, don't accept
Followed by
blazoons from
Sefini.
strangers.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do I see any areas that would look like a store or a tavern?
Well, the sun is set now, so there is a large like central market, kind of like a caravan gathering area, and there's lots of like it's just chaotic. There are way more people in this village than should normally be here, and makeshift tents, people begging for like food and water in the streets. You see the occasional body like collapsed on the side of the road, and like people just kind of crying and huddled. Generally, like people that look like nobility. But yeah, there's just like a mass of people like everywhere, and everyone's dirty. It's not very windy, so it's kind of like this heavy, oppressive heat as the sun is setting, and you just hear like wails and like angry shouts and occasional like scuffle. Yeah, the streets are full.
Sure.
You can probably there's probably at least one inn and one tavern, but at this point in the day, there's been so many refugees, they're probably full.
Okay.
But you can make out the signs from the street because they're up high. You're not there yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I believe that I'm going to, like, do I see anyone that looks like they would know things? So like you said nobility and stuff like that. Like, do I see anyone who looks like they're wearing like Templar stuff? Aside from of course the person we have with us, Sefini. Aside from her, is there really anyone else that we see that would look
yeah,
like
in fact,
they're a
we'll
member of a
say
sorority?
there you see like a handful, like maybe like 2 or 3. Let's say 3 people in temple robes within like before you even reach that large central area. They're kind of like off to the side and they're like kind of like arguing with each other.
What are they saying? I'd like to kind of like stop my cake by them and listen, and then if it sounds important, then I'll get off and join in.
So there's a woman and 2 men, and the woman's kind of like red-faced and like pointing back towards the way you just came from, and like something along like you kind of like just make out the end of her sentence, like we must go back in the morning or something, and the 2 men are like, that holds nothing for us but death. We should start fresh. And then the third one, the third man is like standing there, kind of like in silence, just like listening. And Sefini kind of like pulls her kink up and dismounts to approach the 4 of them.
I think
and
I'm
they
also
kind of
gonna
like
hop
brighten
off.
and wave at her as they clearly recognize her.
I also hop off and I'm gonna approach and I'm gonna say
To Sefini or to the 3?
to the 3. I'm gonna walk up with Sefini, like kind of look at her, make sure she's okay with that. Doing
Yeah,
that.
they make some sort of greeting.
And then I'm gonna kind of like walk up and I'm gonna say and make sure to clear my throat like way too much so then they know that I'm here. And I'm gonna say, hello. Did you say you wanted to go back to the city in the morning?
Oh, so you want to butt right into the conversation?
Oh, completely. I was eavesdropping and I'm letting him know.
So like the 3 of them like are staring at you, and you can kind of feel eyes, and you look, and Sefini, they're all like looking at you like kind of like this, like, and then they all like look at each other, and then the woman says to Sefini, "Is this elf with you?" And Sefini says, "He and his companions rescued me from near certain death at the top of the ziggurat." And they kind of like smile, and then the hostility kind of fades from their eyes, and the woman immediately goes back to her argument, like, "Yes, we are duty bound to restore order to the city. We must marshal a small force of militia in the morning, or even overnight, and make haste back and fight back these Dre."
I hope you don't mind me saying the famous, you and what army? I'm gonna say that, like, how many people do you have with you?
And she kind of like rises up, like, "Look about us. We have enough here to go back. We were just unorganized. The people were scared. We can organize and go back.
You realize
Take back Tyr."
people are still gonna be scared no matter what. I mean, the entire city that they've lived in probably all their lives, or majorities of, has been completely desecrated by...
She kind of spit.
like, at me, or did she just, like...
No, on the
spit off to
ground
the
at
side?
the idea of it. And she's like,
Oh.
"We don't need the nobility. There's enough slaves and gladiators we can,
You
and enough Templars left, I think we stand a chance.
you realize that these people, even if they were once your slaves, they're not going to listen to you anymore. You have no authority.
We have all the authority. That's where you're wrong.
I would love if you prove that to me. Prove it to
Her
me.
eyes kind of like narrow, and she like goes silent.
At this point, you'd an Einix with a halfling kind of rides by, and there's just like a really happy noise, and then some more Blazoon playing, and he looks at you guys. He goes, "Blazoon!"
What's
he
the
just
sound
hits it again.
like?
It's like I said, kind of like a rainmaker. So it's just a constant rattling with a melodic. Is that the right word? Melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Can
melody
you,
being
can
made
you hum
with
a little
percussion.
short melody, like what?
I don't know how to make rainmaker noises. Like
Like that.
I guess. Do we got like just a bunch of like small balls in a cardboard box? I can just.
We're lacking in props. I'm using my imagination right now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, like that. There you go.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Maybe take a dice out. But yeah, like that.
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
Well, with a kind of a tambourine type thwack. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Every now and then.
So you're like going down.
So you're really setting the scene, the music and everything.
Yeah. It's great.
It almost feels like a fair.
It's like celebration after this terrible thing happened.
If it weren't for the trail of dead being left behind the refugees, it would be almost like celebratory in nature.
What is wrong with wait. What is wrong with me? I didn't loot any of the dead bodies for their coin purses.
You didn't. You also
I
didn't loot the
looted them
person
for
that you
their-
wanted to loot.
I looted them for their cheeks.
I mean, I did.
If you
Yeah.
had any experience with iron, you could almost say you were rusty, but you've never owned iron. So.
Yeah.
That ties into no metal. Oh boy.
So after I've interrupted with Blazoon, I kind of stop because I see everybody's at this point probably staring at me. I would assume something or
Yeah, probably everywhere you're going, people are staring at you because for one, you're riding an Inex, a small one, which seems perfectly suited for you, and
Just
for two,
ironic and weird at the same time.
the music play. I mean, you're just drawing attention to yourself. You're also bloodied and like you've been injured.
You're not even like
You have blood of many different people on you. Are you still holding like any meat or anything?
I
Or
probably
are you
got like
kinda,
some in my lap that I've been balancing, like just like a small.
just while
chunk.
you ride your Inex, you just got some. Have you ever ridden a horse? Do you think you could just balance things on your lap while you do that?
It's an Einix. There's a difference.
It's like a giant lizard. There's no horses.
No, but like, I'm aware of that. But having ridden a horse, I'm aware that riding things is
Well,
not
yeah.
conducive to the carrying things on your lap bit.
I know, but it's you know how blood congeals.
Oh.
Your character is way grosser than I imagined.
And you're horrifyingly enough, you're portraying it perfectly.
Thank you. But no, I
Yes,
got like
a
this,
very smooth
just
ride.
a small chunk
apparently.
for a snack later. You know, like
So,
leaving some in your beard kind of thing.
Any final comments with this group?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see what she says and like, you know,
She kind of like mutters under her
response.
breath, and she actually like swivels on her, like pivots on her foot, and like kind of like stalks off.
Stalks off. Do the other guys follow her?
No, definitely not.
I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna say, I'm pretty sure that you agree with me on that. You shouldn't go back, right?
Yeah, the one who'd been talking before is like, it's all foolishness. The city is lost.
I completely agree.
Most of the Templars, my brothers and sisters, are dead.
I really think that we should make a group to not go back. So then she's just angry that there's a completely opposing side. Maybe we can imprison her.
I'm gonna
Wow.
interrupt again.
Wait.
I interrupt with a big thwack from my
Yeah.
Blazoon. I go, okay, I got like 3 arrows in me. Anybody can heal?
Oh yeah, I touch you and I heal you. I'm gonna spend 4. Oh boy, I have 4 left. Okay, I'm gonna spend my last 4 psionic points. We have not taken a rest.
But you are safely in the village.
And you're gonna be restored for 48 of health.
That's a lot of health. I don't think he
So-
has that much health like that.
This will give you 7, 9, and then 11 health. Just a ton of 2s. So you're gonna get 11 health back.
Nice.
And you are out of all. Those
Yeah,
things.
my brain is like mental. I'm super tired now. Like just mentally tired.
Like, you know when you're like blowing up pool floaties?
Yeah.
and you run out of breath and you just like almost fall down the stairs.
That's what I feel. I just like clench your arm, and it feels super nice. You know, like you feel powered.
I kind of like
and then it
pump
just
my
gets
chest out.
Then it gets just a little bit too tight around your arm. Like I'm kind of just like
I
hurting.
I lightly slap at it, but I'm also holding a blazoon, so I'm not really lightly slapping
You're
at
like
it.
you just start hitting my hand and making.
It's starting to make some more.
It's rather
rap-
rhythmic.
By
Yeah,
the time all your guys' shenanigans are complete, you're now approaching the town, and you can see that actually that just slightly beyond them, off in like a side part between two like buildings, there's like a recessed area. Tristani has like assembled a small makeshift like overhang to help keep off like the sun, I guess. But she like made an area and had thrown down some bedding and tied up her kink, and so she's kind of like made like a little area like for like the party.
Tying up is my kink.
As the merchant fellow moves to get off the tank, I make another offer to him. So I figure you might, being a man of such glorious wealth that you are, might perhaps want a mount for yourself for the long term. So this one can be yours for, let's say not but 19 gold.
The kink?
The kank.
I think they're worth like hundreds or thousands.
Oh, I know.
So you just want to like.
Wait, am I here with him?
You're trying to sell him a kink? No.
Oh.
The kink for like 19 gold? Like, you want to sell it? Am I understanding you correctly?
I think I would like to sell it. I was thinking that number, but that's not a good number.
Now,
how about
being told-
99 gold?
No, how about 900 gold, Ethan? You just got you know now that now he made it worth so much more than what you were making him. Yeah, you should bump it up.
Now that you say 900, I'm imagining this
Skyrocketing.
guy. He replies, "This has been the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals."
He kind of holds up that gold chain, and he kind of like shakes some of the dust off of it, and he kind of like rubs it so you can see. What wasn't gold chain? It's gold colored ceramic chain.
Oh.
And he says, this was worth two or was it 300 back when it was new? But anyways, it seems a fair trade. I'll offer this in trade for the amount.
Okay. How about this? I'll throw in the saddle for 20 more gold pieces.
Deal. And so he removes the chain and
Is
tosses it
he
to
is
you.
he on the ground with me?
No, he's on the kink still. He's riding on it.
Okay. No, wait. I specified as he gets off because he was just renting it before.
Oh, so you want him to like dismount from the kink or whatever?
So I can talk to him face to face. It's
Okay.
only fair. It's
Gotcha.
Man,
good business
how much
practice.
did you sell it for?
Possibly
A ceramic necklace and 20
yeah.
pieces of coins.
So basically, you basically did that for one. First, you traded it for a currency that's very, very likely going to be completely irrelevant at some point. Second, just 20 days rent and then you can own it. Imagine if that's how houses work. You just paid like 20 days worth and it's like, it's your house now. Congrats.
So
A single gold
he
piece is just
hands
$1.
over the necklace and the coin, which you can mark down, and then he leads them off further towards like the central area.
Can I follow from a distance to see where he's resting for the night?
Yeah, you just want to watch. So we'll say within like a half hour, he makes a little spot somewhere and beds down for the night.
All right. I would like to steal all of his money.
Okay, while he's asleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And the kink?
Alright, give me a
I'll leave
sleight
it with
of
something.
hand check. DC is 15.
15? All right.
We're very morally ambiguous.
I pass.
Yeah.
Got a
You almost
25.
failed. You almost failed and got, a 3? And then you rolled a 19 instead.
Alright, he had 32 coins left in his purse.
Incredible.
Okay, and at this point, is everybody going to bed down for the night to rest and recuperate all of your abilities, do a long rest overnight?
I believe
Yes, that would
so.
be wonderful.
I think
Definitely.
I think I can also meditate like elves can,
That's
but I'm just gonna sleep.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and reset all of your skills and
Sure.
powers and hit points back to normal.
Now, I have a
And
question.
Let's also take an intermission. Do you want to do the question before the intermission?
Yeah, it'll make more sense. Can we strap him to his Inex while he's asleep?
Oh, I already did that.
No, the important question is, can the Inex walk while you ride it sleeping?
Possibly. I think he's sleeping on the ground and you're not sleeping in the saddle.
No,
You'd
no,
be
I would like.
surprised at
No, no, no.
the
I would. Okay, so if he is
ability
able to
of a
meditate
halfling.
and I am able to meditate and we can get up 4 hours early, I would like to steal my kank back and leave town.
Oh, in the night.
Or just like, ooh, even better. On my own, I'm gonna wake up earlier than everyone else. I'm gonna go get my kank. And I'm gonna move it outside of town
okay.
a distance, and then tie it back up.
All right, give me a stealth check. Let's see if you're able to do that unnoticed, and also an animal handling.
That's a 26 stealth check.
Okay, and then give me an animal handling.
God, you're the perfect
You can do
character
the
for this.
animal handling with advantage because it's actually an animal you've ridden before.
All right, 17 and 10.
Oh, okay.
17.
Well, all right, yeah. So, how far out of town? I think the road here, the main road goes west, and then it splits north and south from here. So
I don't want to put it off the main road. I want to take it out like kind of near a dune or a rocky
Okay, off
outcropping.
to the east where there's no roads.
Yeah,
Okay.
just where it's not going to be noticed. Yeah.
So
If he wakes up
you
and
find
looks
like an
for
old
roads.
like ruined area, some pillars, and you're able to tie it around a pillar, like an old ruined pillar out in this sandy area.
So basically, you sold a king to a man. This kind, fat person.
He's a merchant. He can't be that
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
This kind, fat person.
Did you at least leave him with
And
his
then
with his
you
ox?
say here.
Yes.
Then you say here. Let me just take all that back and more. So you took all of his money. You now have his necklace, and then you have the cake that you sold him. Did you also take his rations? So he's gonna
No, I
starve
have
to
2 of
death?
his mugs also.
Oh, 2 of his mugs as well.
Can we take a 5-minute intermission?
5-minute
Yep.
intermission? Okay. Starting now. We'll be back at 11:10 in our time, so that's 5 minutes from now. Hello, everyone. We're back. Yeah.
Okay, so it's morning time. You are returning back into the village, Ethan, or should I say Lobu.
Lobu.
And you have stolen back your kank and hidden it on the eastern outskirts of the village and tied it off to some ruins.
Mm-hmm.
And returned to town, and your companions are stirring. I think you're thinking about breakfast.
Thinking
And,
about breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time.
You're surrounded by breakfast, lunch, and dinner possibilities. And Kale,
It's good to have
what
choices.
is your
Sylvester?
character's name? Sylvester, yeah.
I think I'm getting up for the morning and I'm trying to start talking to people, and I also try looking for that Templar lady who said that she was going to go off and
Zephine is with the other Templars. The
Oh,
others,
even
she's
the one that
you
said
can
that she
kinda
wanted to
see
do
who
it?
the Templars are. There's actually close to maybe a dozen actually assembled on the opposite side of the central area.
toward tier.
Hmm?
Is it toward tier, like close to the tier? or
No,
further?
the opposite direction.
Okay.
You guys are camped on the near side towards Tyr. Also, if everybody would go through and mark off one food and water from
Okay.
your inventory from the previous day's food and water.
Do you have an eraser, Nathan?
I
That I can
do.
Thank you very much. I just have it marked as rations, but I'll also have water on there.
You don't need to mark down the food.
As
since
you've been eating your
you-
enemies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I've been eating the souls of the vanquished, but mostly their bodies.
Only mostly.
Thank you, Nathan.
Okay, so you guys are reassembling, not around a campfire because it's already blazing hot. The sun is rising,
Actually,
and
camp ice.
let's see. Let's go ahead and describe the weather. It looks cloudy, but you know since you've lived on this planet for your life that it's not actually
Except
cloudy,
for-
but there is a sandstorm off in the distance. If anybody wants to give me a nature check, DC will be 12. You can kind of estimate how long till it arrives.
I believe that I will do said nature check. 12.
Yeah, nature's not that
Oh, wow, that's what I chose.
All
Alright, so you're going to estimate that it'll probably be here before the noonday meal. Maybe within 2-3 hours. And it's got kind of a yellowish green coloration, which means it might be bad. Alright, so you guys are assembled for the day. So from here, I don't have my map, but get the pen. So besides the main western road back to Tyr, there is a kind of like a northern branching road and a southern branching road. So basically from Tyr, the road forks and goes either east and then off to the north, and then south, out of the town. And the road kind of splits this main, not like a roundabout, but it's a large central caravanning area in the center. You'd call it a square, but it's more like a circle.
Okay.
Two very different objects.
Yes.
Just very descriptive there.
I mean, they're topologically
And
identical.
there's a rough wall around the town. In places, it's kind of made out of stone or masonry. In other places, it's got some dry rotted timbers. And in other locations, the wall appears to be the remains of tumbled buildings, like the remaining walls from them. So it's kind of ramshackle. The whole town kind of sprawling and much different from the last time you were here because it's overflowing with refugees, and you can kind of hear angry shouts and screaming and more crying, and it appears that quite a few people have died in the night. Some possibly actually murdered in their sleep or whatnot. Maybe a few people have died of their wounds, but there is definitely a heavy, oppressive feel of anxiety about the town. And concern, because most of these people a few days ago were living safely behind the walls of a massive city.
So there are corpses.
Yes.
Are there any unattended?
Yeah, you could probably find one that's just dead in the gutter.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking around for some breakfast.
Okay.
I think we should just take his rations.
Yeah, there
it feels
is
like
a couple blocks over.
It feels like he doesn't.
You stumble across a kind of like shrouded figure, like face down and like.
You're
the
gonna
curb.
get so fat
And there's-
eating all these.
There's like a dagger just sticking in its back still.
Ooh, wait.
It used to
Well,
be
he's
rare
looking
that
for
you
breakfast.
ate.
I mean, I
these.
know he likes daggers, so I would bring him one. I'd be like, yeah, I just found this.
It was stuck in an elf, by the way.
Stuck in an elf. The
An elf
irony.
woman.
Don't lick the blood. You might get some sort of disease.
I'm not sure if you understand pathogens that well.
Don't lick the blood. You might get not good.
Yeah,
Does that
don't lick
work?
the blood. Just eat everything else.
Alright.
But that's not happening right now. I'm just tearing into this corpse.
Oh.
Not like all of it. Just I mean like a good bit of like. Dude, I don't have to describe this in detail every time, do I?
Why did we have to roll a halfling?
So, these other individuals that these Templar people, are they leaving now?
Mm-mm.
Thank you, Kale.
No. They have also not assembled any sort of army or
I want
expeditionary
less than him.
force.
Oh.
Yeah.
I believe
I
that
want less than
Sylvester
that.
will totally like smirk,
No.
in response to
It's dripping.
her lack of an army.
Just in that, no, it's in the bottom of the, there it is. You got it.
Oh, I got you. Continue.
Alright, so what's the plan?
Sylvester's definitely gonna go like, you know,
Harass
talk to her. Yeah, harass the lady that said that she was better than us in a sense.
Oh, the one that wanted to, the other Templar that wanted to go
Yes,
back
yes,
to Tyr?
her, yes. The one that I said you in one army too.
Oh,
Right,
good.
so
Let's
you
go
ready to
seek
go over
out
to
our
the group of
enemy.
Templars?
Yes, I'm gonna walk over there.
Safini's definitely with them still.
Okay, I'm gonna say, well, how did we all sleep last night?
Just greet it with skeptical looks, and Safini kind of like just says something to them about like that you were with the party that like rescued her or whatever. But you're kind of greeted with silence, and now that there's a group of them, they definitely have like this air of superiority, like that you remember from Tyr.
I can feel
They didn't
this.
have it yesterday, but like definitely, it's like, oh man, they
Okay,
They
I think I'm instead of getting off my kank, I think I'm just gonna stay on there,
Oh,
so that I feel more at home.
yeah.
I'm gonna start. I'm
You're
gonna
like
say.
4 heads taller than Easy,
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah. So I said like well, how are we doing today?
and they're
no
lounging around
response?
eating breakfast. So a lot of them are seated. So you're actually like
Okay. Do I see
towering
that?
over
Do I
them.
see that girl? That one, the one that. The
Oh
one
yeah,
that's
yeah,
on my-
she's here.
I'm gonna say.
Safini. Learn her name.
No,
No,
not
the other
Safini.
one.
No,
Oh, the-
yes, the
okay.
one. Yes, the one that I was.
The
harassing.
nameless one, so she doesn't
Ah.
actually have to learn.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we're
What's
gonna
your
get the
name?
name.
For an air of convenience.
For an air of convenience.
Do you say for
She
narrative?
kind of
Yes, I
sighs
do,
in
I do say
annoyance,
that.
and she's like, "Lamdrim."
Lamdrim.
Lamdrim. Well, where's your army? And inside of her head, I'm gonna say, Mwahaha. I have telepathy, so this is totally allowed. I'm gonna say Mwahaha, not let her know that it's me. It's gonna be like a deep.
She's gonna have
gravelly
psionic
voice.
resistance, so you feel kind of like this like mental block, as if your message was not
Does
received.
she know?
A lot of characters
She left
are
you on red.
naturally, I almost said psychotic. That would be the halflings.
I mean-
the psionic. So she didn't get to her
That's
position of
psycho-
authority by being some sort of psychic noob. She's actually was able to protect herself from your mental assault.
Okay, gotcha.
Occlumency as it is.
So she totally. Okay. Then I'm going to kind of. I'm gonna sit there and like wait for her to somewhat respond to my mwahaha. So then I say, Lamdrim. Lamdrim. Well, I see you don't want to respond to my army comment. Fine. Are you still thinking about going back to Tyr?
You are legitimately just somebody who randomly texts a woman.
At some point, yes, but I'm not going to go to my death like some fool.
Oh, like you were going to yesterday.
She just glares at you.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna say, well, I'm glad you made the right decision. How are those slaves coming along?
I at this point, I kind of Onyx on over and wrap my arm around him. I'm like, hey, buds!
Your
what are you
Onyx
doing?"
is like on the ground and I'm on top of a kink.
Yeah?
Please describe how that happens.
Wait.
Do you like climb
I
my
like-
kink?
No, the Onyx does, like up the leg.
No. I think
I-
that would just
it's
I
break,
don't think the Onyx is that small.
I think that would just break my kink's legs though, because the Onyx is pretty heavy. I'm sure.
I was
Like,
more
I'm
thinking that
standing
kinks
up,
were
and
much
I'm
larger
like,
than they probably are.
So, like, I'm down here, I'm like, how
I-
are we doing,
I-
buds?
He said 4 heads. I'm like
I
as
think-
tall as a building.
Yeah, and I can still raise my arm.
Not that high.
Like,
can-
yeah, I'm like 3 feet.
You can reach his thigh.
You can reach my thigh.
All right.
Like a parent like holding their parent, like a kid holding their parent's arm, like, hi mom.
So, how we doing, guys? What's going on? And I wipe my mouth.
So I'm sitting here like
Throw off some
like
blood.
I'm totally challenging this
Wait,
lady. And
is
then
this
you walk in
before or
as,
after
like,
you
the
give me
drunk
the
friend.
dagger?
I think it's post breakfast. So
Yeah,
Landgren
after.
responds to
Then I
you,
probably would have come
and
over
she
as
says, "For saving Sefini, we thank you, but that doesn't give you the grounds to insult us." And she's like, well, she wouldn't say anything about being on thin ice, but you tread on quicksand.
I'm gonna respond with I'm gonna say, I'm not insulting you. I'm just trying to be realistic. Thank you. But is Safini staying with you?
Safini's right there.
Is
I mean,
Safini
they're all
staying with?
breakfasting together.
Then I'm basically gonna say, I'm gonna be like, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just trying to have a conversation. And then I immediately cut off from that girl, and then I look at Safini. I'm saying, I presume you're going to be staying with them from now on.
She kind of like nods.
Mr.
What a pity.
Huff.
I hope you don't die in one of those raids. And then I start to kind of like walk off, but like back away
Like
slowly.
on your kink.
Yes, back away though, so I'm still like making eye contact with them.
I kind of get dragged along for a few steps.
You're like
But
still
for a
holding
moment,
on.
you're like standing there, side and profile, like between your retreating companion and like this group of Templars.
Yes, exactly.
I'm standing there with the Templars because like I figured I
You're
would
on their side.
No. I'm just also there. Because like I was just
Are you
gonna
on your kink?
participate.
Oh,
no,
no,
I'm
you're
not
not.
on my kink actually.
What's going on with this man who he stole from?
Huh? Oh, I think he's still asleep.
Yeah, actually, I said we should probably head out of town. If this place is going to be overrun with refugees, it's just not a safe place for us to be. We should probably head on now down to a larger city.
You say that entire monologue, and I just keep eye contact with Safini backing away.
You know, I'm sensing an air of hostility here, guys.
You're just talking like crazy, and I just.
Oh no!
You're just.
Oh no!
You just.
The character sheet.
Oh no, I need
You
a new
just
character
spat your
sheet.
tea all over your character sheet.
Oh no.
There's some paper towels right there.
Kale, press with paper towels,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah,
Quickly.
sure.
I gotta know my glasses and everything.
Oh, your hit points are dropping.
Oh, no. There you go.
Yeah, Ethan just spilled the tea.
Is that 2 death saving throw failures I see?
Anyway, we should get out of town pretty quickly. I think we should head to a less habited but much larger location. These refugees aren't going to do anything good for us, and we need to figure out what's going on before.
We just got here, and there's so much
Hang on real quick. So you just described the desert. I'm gonna go to a much larger but less habited
Alright,
place.
so the storm is approaching from like kind of like the northeast. The you guys know that the North Fork in the road cuts back a little bit towards the west and goes up into the mountains to one of the few iron mines that are known at all as a major source of wealth for the city of Tyr. And the city that goes off, the road that goes off to the south is the main tradeway that goes on to the other inhabited regions of this area.
So this iron mine is the source of wealth for Tyr, the city that basically doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I like this plan. I think we should go rob an iron mine. I think we should deal with the storm first because it seems like a pressing matter. But we should rob an iron mine.
Like you're gonna attack the storm? Is it gonna be a frontal assault or with words?
Let's just deal with it head on. That's
Actually,
all.
so you said there were some like ruins. Are there?
It was over back by your king.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. By my tank, there are some ruins. Now, are these ruins? Is there like enough of a ceiling anywhere?
No. There is like ruined like vertical structures and then some like underground like openings.
Did
Underground openings?
You
No,
didn't
like
investigate at the time.
did Lobu just so happen to steal the tarp from the ox?
no, I definitely didn't.
Darn. I was hoping we.
It wasn't an ox. It was a beast of
cart.
burden. I didn't bother to describe it.
Yeah, I heard ox. I don't know why.
It's
It
similar
was
to an
like-
ox.
like
in
an
that
It was
ox
a bob.
carries
cart.
thing.
It was a bob.
There's no
Beast
like
of burden.
cattle or horses or oxen or orcs or goblins or anything like that.
Well,
No,
yeah,
man,
I mean,
so
I figured,
or-
but
Sorry, it was like an ox cart type of thing. But
yeah, I just
With the
kept
yoke
on
and
assuming
whatnot.
ox.
Anyway,
Yeah, the more important pressing matter.
now you say there are some underground structures there. Also, do you think that I would think that there might be?
openings like underground.
How big are these openings?
I don't know. I mean, you saw steps leading down.
Could I fit a tank in there?
Maybe they were probably like 5 or 6 feet wide.
Mm-hmm. I'm still backing away.
I mean, potentially. I mean, kinks are like desert creatures.
So they would be
they
fine.
can survive most likely. Yeah.
Ooh, I just got a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I have a couple of cool ideas. We need to find a cloth merchant immediately.
I thought you were a cloth merchant.
Yeah, but I only have so much cloth, and my plan isn't gonna work.
Oh,
Yes,
real
and
quick,
I
real
eat
quick.
the nearest halfling.
Real quick, can we say that? Can we say that we like have all like walked away from this place?
Yes, I'm no longer standing amidst the Templars.
Yeah. Can we say that we kind of like grouped back up?
So Justani was just finishing off her breakfast. You want to go back to Justani, like
Yeah.
where her king gets tied up?
Yeah, that works just fine.
Great. So, I have a couple of ideas here. While I was off wandering this morning, I found an area where we might be able to hide from the storm in a safe location.
Wandering.
Okay. Okay.
Hide from storm. Look,
These are-
why do we need to hide from a storm?
Rather dangerous storms. They're sandstorms. You're gonna get
Ooh,
buried
is this
alive.
going to be your first
This is
sandstorm?
my first sandstorm.
Oh man, this is going to be a thing of beauty next week.
What do you call storm? Rain?
Rain.
Rain.
Rain. Rain.
What's rain?
Rain?
Have we heard of rain? Is that something that?
Is that?
I'm from the
was there first
Feywild. I know what rain is.
I
I've
think
lived
I
in
think
both.
it rains
cla-
once or twice a year. Like it might sprinkle on your face,
Yeah.
like water from the heavens
Wasn't
for a
there
few
some
minutes.
sort of
Hang
some
on,
sort
real
of rain
quick.
going over Tyr whenever we were going back through there?
So it's
Clouds.
like
Clouds.
so it's
not
like
rain clouds. They were like magical clouds of evilness.
Okay.
since I've lived in both the Feywild and here, and the Feywild before it was terrible, and then and blah blah blah. You've only lived in the forest all of your life, and you've only lived in the desert. So I'm like the translator between the two languages. Like I've lived in both. I know what rain is, but I also know what a sandstorm
See, I'm like,
is.
why do we need to hide from this storm? Is there a tornado?
You're a rather small individual. Should the sandstorm come near you, you will be buried and killed.
How can there be a storm of sand? It's on the ground.
Not all the time.
I have a comment. Let's go there and then have this conversation. How does that sound?
You guys want to head out?
Yes.
I lead them through a meandering path, not directly towards it.
So you want to avoid the merchant and go through the side?
Absolutely avoiding the merchant.
Right, that's
D-
smart
I
thinking.
think like, do I know that you did all this? You stole back from
I
him
don't
and
think
stuff?
so.
No.
Why would
okay.
I tell you?
Do you get a fleeting glimpse at him before you as you leave?
He's probably been tracking him from afar.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
just like seeing.
Like what's
he's
the
not
last
sure.
thing that he sees of this merchant? Just sleeping.
Probably his portly self rising and falling as he's sleeping under his covers.
It's just like he lifts up the blanket and then it like kind of floats back down.
It's actually a magic blanket.
Yeah. Okay. That's. what
I'm
it is.
seeing this as a cartoon in my mind.
Yeah. That's what I was imagining.
And like his like whispers are.
Okay. So,
Alright, so you guys
follow you.
exit the town of Chandrat, and a short walk beyond the city walls and over a few sand dunes. At the top of the dunes, you can still easily make out the city and hear like the sounds of the people within. And then beyond, there is kind of half buried in sand dunes, so you don't feel like you see all of the ruins, but there's definitely like columns from like some previously like much nicer place than Chandrat. Just like worked columns and they've been sandblasted over the decades. But here and there, there's like a retaining wall, and you find this rectangular opening you've seen before near where the pillory like tied off your kink, and there's some kind of like ruin steps kind of like going down below ground.
Okay. What's our best choice of a light source? Do we have torches?
Yeah, definitely.
I have
I know
torches.
Tristani's got one.
Oh, I don't need a light source. I have dark vision. Okay.
Yeah, you're not.
I also have dark vision.
You also haven't bathed in a while, so you're technically a filthy elf.
So we can see the dark.
Oh, he's
We
always
can
been a
see-
filthy
We
elf.
can see in the dark, and you can't
What?
see in the dark?
Wait. How come do you think bathing is in a desert country where it
I
rains
think you
twice
spit
a
in the
year?
sand and kind of scrub it on your skin.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you haven't bathed.
Or do you bathe underneath the honey secreting elements of the kink?
Hey Nathan, I think actually
It's
daily.
going
I think occasionally.
It's a really good exfoliant.
Once a week, I think I use up a full point of my water just to clean myself, and this is definitely that point of the week. Like this is where I'm gonna clean myself instead of a city, where you can get water.
I just saw you doing that like a cat.
I'll do
Like
that. No, I mean with my water. Like I'll actually bathe. So I probably should do that.
I actually watch very
there's no
interestedly.
sponges because there's no oceans.
Yeah, I have mental mind powers. I can just.
I'm gonna go down these stairs.
So maybe next week you can like explain that for us. 'cause
With your
we'll-
brain,
okay.
you
We don't have time for that
spend-
right now.
Ooh, Nathan,
Sorry.
would you like to pull a plot twist card as we enter the cave?
Are you entering the cave?
I just would love to.
Okay.
Yes,
I
we are
do
all
too.
entering the
You'll
cave.
probably have to dismount from your kinks and lead them by like
I
their,
was
their
already-
ropes.
Oh
on
wait, did you
foot.
just go get your kink out of the middle of nowhere?
No, it's tied up to the pillar.
Oh, I believe that that I react to it and I'm like, why did you put your kink all the way out here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I sold my kink.
You. I look at you, look at the kink, and then I look at you again, and I notice it's the exact same kink, and I'm gonna nod and say,
I untie it and start heading down the
I'm
stairs.
like, nice, and I reach out and shake your hand.
No. I'm definitely in the process of untying the kink
Oh,
and
okay.
heading down the stairs.
Never mind. So I totally got the message you were telling me. And then I believe that, that we start heading down the stairs into the cave.
All right.
one
So
in
we're gonna be each of you will be leading the kinks on your own.
Yes.
Like one at a time. Who goes in first? You.
Yes, definitely.
Can I
then-
stay on my Inex?
I'm gonna.
do I have to
yeah,
get
you guys are small.
your Inex is
Nice.
just a permanent. It's just your permanent legs.
Like I said, the Inex is my leg. Anytime I'm off my Inex,
How many feet do you have movement with your Inex?
He has 2 feet, one on each side.
4 if he's on his Inex.
6 if he's on his
6.
Inex.
No.
yeah,
If he's
no,
on his
no, I have
Inex, it'd be
4 if
6.
I'm on my Inex.
It's 2 and 4.
No, because the Inex are my feet.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm asking how fast can you move when you're on your Inex?
Normal speed, probably.
Nathan, you better
Yeah.
kill this thing sometime.
However
and then
fast
he'll
an
be
Inex
so sad.
moves. is
However
how
fast.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is faster than a
I'm
half.
pretty sure it's 60 feet, but I can't.
Plus, it can climb walls.
It can't climb walls. It can run on walls. It can't just scale a wall.
Okay.
I guess there are climbing feats which would still make it would make it overpowered. I think you. I don't know, Nathan. I think you can climb
I
walls.
believe the
with
plural
Inex.
of feet is feet.
Especially. Nathan, his Inex should be able to climb a wall, right?
so proud of
What?
His Inex can climb walls, right?
No, definitely.
Definitely not. All right, you should get the athlete feat, so then you could just do that now.
No, it can climb feet.
It can climb feet. You know,
Oh God. this
just
is-
when I think that I can accept you as a person.
my. Ah, God. Okay, that was.
Oh, so my idea for
experience.
the cloth merchant, right?
Oh yeah,
I would like to build
you're a
a.
cloth merchant. Okay, go ahead.
I don't have any cloth right now.
You'd like
Oh,
to build
yeah.
a wall.
You're a cloth merchant.
No.
Tyr
Wait, I
isn't
have
sending us their best people.
literally the coolest idea ever.
Okay,
All right, go ahead and describe
that
it.
is literally.
I would like to make like pants for our tanks that hold on this gets
Nathan,
better.
the look on your face.
that
is
have
golden.
wait that have webbing so we can just use the kanks as sandstorm tents.
I don't
Or-
think the bolts of cloth you stole were not long.
That's
enough to
why
really
I said we needed to find someone for this.
Yeah.
Or
But kank tents, come on.
Or we
Tent
could just dig really deep into the sand. Like really
Do you know
deep
how
into the
heavy
sand.
sand is?
and just
It's just like small rocks.
Just kiss our lives goodbye.
I think we should just go down these stairs.
Yeah, real quick.
I'm gonna go down the
I
stairs.
just thought of this
I'm already
question,
down the stairs.
Nathan.
Yeah.
So you guys went on the stairs?
Yeah. How did I get to this realm? If I came from
Discuss it later. It's not important.
I think there's a portal between your realm and here.
Realm.
So you go ahead and give me a wisdom save, because as you guys descend down the stairs, especially since you are got psionics.
21.
Okay, you feel this overwhelming sense of dread, which
Again? This
of
already
your-
happened once.
Your why don't you describe the previous thing that happened? to recap?
Yeah. So while we were in the city, I actually never told this to anyone. So I'll say it in my own voice. Hello. Yeah, me, Sylvester again.
Yeah.
While we were
Why
in the
you sound
city
like Weebly?
before, we some things happened, and we saw those things that looked undead and acted undead and seemed very undead.
Were they undead?
And it probably. And I got this big feeling of dread, and I'm getting that same feeling walking in here. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
The only thing I feel right now is hungry.
All right, so let's go ahead and have the well, you feel it first. So
Huh.
you're kind of giving a warning of what you're
Yeah.
like sensing, and you feel this like wave of like nausea wash over you, where you're like having to like
grab my cake tighter.
while you're leaning. No, like you like lean against the wall, like catch.
Oh yeah,
yourself.
I don't have my cake. Yeah.
And you're just leading it by like a rope or something.
Mm.
But so you like pause and you kind of like are able to overcome like this feeling, and you're like telling people like, oh, that I felt this way back in Tyr, and you kind of have. All right, so then all of you go ahead and make your wisdoms. Give me a wisdom save.
Post-traumatic fantasy disorder.
So we're using the Pathfinder plot twist cards, and I drew the sanity check card.
Nice. You chose advantage on that?
Yeah, I
If
used
it's-
my inspiration
No, that was
for
like
a
this.
12
I'd reroll it then.
instead of a 4.
17? Yeah, 17.
Alright. So you've both burned your inspiration to save.
I don't have
And
to do anything.
Tristani. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are all able to save. Everybody rolled over 15, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
everybody saved on their sanity checks. All right, but you all have like a similar vision of let's see, how should I describe this? The closest thing you can relate it to that you've seen is the gushing of the fog from the. Okay, I'll describe it this way. It's like you're drowning in an ocean of fog and fear.
Is there fog though? Physical fog?
Well, it's like almost like a feeling that you're feeling like this wave of like I'm drowning
Like
in like
claustrophobia
fear,
and stuff.
but it's like cloudy, like fog type of fear.
Mhm.
And then in the fog, you can see like almost like you're feeling like you're sinking, like sinking in sand or sinking in.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't sink in water because you wouldn't know what that would feel like. And it's like there's like claws like reaching out from like the ground of like the dead like skeletal hands like grabbing for you, and you guys all kind of like everyone survives their sanity check, right? So you kind of like force away this vision, and you can kind of like hear the sounds and like moans of like things, and you realize that there's actually things grasping at your feet, and like there's like arms reaching out from like below you, like from like the ruins, like in the sand, and they're reaching up from the sand, and like sand's kind of like pouring through the fingers, and things like grasping at your like.
Oh no,
Like your
my 4
feet.
legs!
Except for you, of course.
Can I backpedal up the stairs?
Yeah, I back away.
No, you're in the lead, so you'd be the last one out.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you
You'd
leave
be
your
like
tank
run-
behind.
so like you'd be running into us.
That's not gonna happen.
What a
Like you're
shiver.
not like taking damage or currently being grappled, but you recognize now that the sandy floor, now that the stairs have leveled off. I guess I can go describe it. So you can. Tristani's got a torch lit, so you can see that the floor of this first chamber is kind of like a rectangular hall that leads on further into the darkness, and the paving stones of the stairs have turned into it's like sand at the bottom of the stairs, and emerging from the sand are like these like rotten, dry, or brittle-boned hands. Dozens of them just kind of reaching out, and kind of like they're just kind of like grasping. You can see like the occasional like dome of like a head or something, but everything's kind of buried in sand here.
Are they skeletal or is there meat?
Both. Well, and the meat would be rotten or dry rotted.
Darn. So can I
It's definitely not natural.
I think I'm actually gonna like light a torch and then like hold it ahead. I have dark vision, but I think I'm gonna like light.
I mean,
a torch.
Tristani's already carrying a torch.
You want to just hold a torch out and light it off of hers?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna like do that, and I'm gonna hold it forward like ahead.
Yeah,
of
and
me.
she kind of like lights yours. Like one of them like latches under her foot. And she like kind of kicks it out of the way.
Uh-huh.
And so with one hand she's got a torch with her, and she draws like she's got like a flint blade that she kind of has drawn, and her eyes are like kind of like wide.
How would you say the stairwell was? 5 feet or so?
The stairs were about 6 feet, well, about 5 feet wide, but like the hallway you're in now is about 10 feet wide. It's like actually widened up much wider than the stairwell, and it goes on further.
So my cank's able to walk in here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I cling to the underside of it?
What, like underneath like this?
Yeah. So I'm not on the floor.
Or you could get on the back of it and just kind of like lay down and like kind of like hold it from on.
Yeah, I
It'd
guess
probably
that
be easier than being
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah,
Plus
okay.
you might get cank honey on you.
I'm just an early
Oh,
bath
that's
this
weird
month.
laugh.
I'm imagining if the kank honey is just like secreting ooze that once it's all gone, then the cake just dies. It's its life force.
No.
No. Okay.
We've had
That's
enough
good.
cank deaths for one session.
I think I agree. A complete beheading of one.
Look, if I didn't kill it right then and there, it would never have gone
Right.
to.
So currently you guys are in the
halfway,
hallway. The we'll call it the passage of arms.
Can I take out my bone short sword, long sword?
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly which one it is.
Sure, your bone blade.
My bone blade, yeah, and start swiping at these.
Oh yeah, you want to
things.
chop off a few hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lop a few hands off. They're not worth eating. It's just bones.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just trying to stop them from grabbing my boy.
Oh yeah. So you lop a few hands off, and at this point, I think we're reaching a good closing off time for our session. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be a very suspenseful start.
Yeah, like a cliffhanger sort of ending for next week, where you guys are passing through a passage lined with arms, going off into the dark.
Yeah, I like it. So, Mr. Zach, I believe that I take my character Sylvester. He reaches out and he grabs a dead arm and he tosses it over to you to eat.
I think
I slash at it in midair.
And
I
you kinda
think
knock it to the
I
ground.
would
Yeah.
soon begin pushing my kank forward faster to get out of this hallway.
Oh, so,
like racing.
oh,
ahead.
hang on. So you hopped on top of your kink?
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I believe actually after I see you do that, I'm gonna climb up on top of mine and do the same thing. And I'm gonna kind of ride, ride.
So you're
mine,
gonna
right-
race through the passageway.
Yeah, where we're not touching the ground. I
Okay.
mean, his Enix is enticed.
So you're kind of like first. Are you second with your torch lit
Yeah,
now?
I'll be second.
And
yeah.
then we'll have you, and then maybe Tristani in the back.
You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah, you can't see without that.
Yeah, but he's got torches on either side of him.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
And
so you guys, go ahead.
sorry, and I'm and Huff is kind of grumbling angrily. I can't speak. He's grumbling angrily as he swipes left and right, trying to force his way through this set of arms. That's really all I had to say.
Okay. So you race ahead a little ways, and then the sand kind of gives way to some stones, and you kind of feel instead of being warm, it starts to cool off, and you go down another. There's another passage of steps going further down. You guys want to go down further?
I think for the time being, I'm just gonna halt on these stones. Wait for the rest to catch up.
Yeah, they're all right. You guys are all right together.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I see we're heading out of the.
It feels like a breeze of cool air further down.
Okay, I think I'd be curious about that.
I say we
Oh,
head
feels
out
like
into the
home.
darkness.
All right, so you go down the cool air, and at the base there's a large open room where you can actually see. You can see some columns and things, and you recognize the familiar shape of those eggs from Tyr.
Oh yeah.
And also, there is a fog bank. It's not it's not knee deep like before. It's much lower to the ground. It may be like a foot deep, maybe instead of 3 or 4. I think we said it was 3 feet, 4 feet
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah,
Here,
waist deep.
this is just maybe a foot. It's not nearly as deep, but you see the eggs emerging from the fog, and you also see forms moving ahead of you. So as you guys kind of you hear this like speaking voices, and you hear like the sounds of the Dre speech being spoken ahead of you, and you hear like someone like commanding you in Dre, and then it switches to common, and it says, "Who disturbs us in here? Speak now."
I lick my lips.
All right, and we'll end there.
Okay. Also, I was gonna say, so each time that I go to bed, I can change 2 proficiencies, or I can change 1 proficiency and then do 1 language. And I believe that I chose the language of the Dre to understand and be able to speak. It's as if I know the language itself.
You don't.
I know. I'm saying with this proficiency, unless you'd rather me not know that language.
No, I can speak common.
Okay.
So you're saying you can like magically learn another language?
Psionically? So
Okay,
yes.
So you couldn't actually speak it, but you could communicate in their language with them.
Yeah,
that works.
Okay,
I won't
perfect.
have you suddenly learn another language.
Can I use the mental thing to like say things in Dre, but I can't like say the words out loud? Is that by chance possible? Because they can't respond with the telepathy that I can use.
They could respond verbally to you, but you would only be able to communicate them in their own like mother tongue, so to speak, mentally.
Okay,
so they would hear it in their own language. You would think it in your language, and they would hear it in theirs.
That's what I was asking.
But if they responded, they would have to verbalize it to you.
Then I'll go and clarify with you. Then I chose persuasion as my proficiency, and then a language. I could do 2 languages, but there's not really any reason, so I have persuasion and
a lot of persuading.
Yeah. Did we do enough to be level 4?
No.
Darn.
Well, and also you wouldn't level up in the middle of an encounter anyways.
That also would make sense. We just instantly get
just
buffed, have full
suddenly,
health, and
Yeah, we're just
It's like
standing
the
there and all of a
dragon
sudden
breathes and you failed your save and you drop to 0 hit points, and I think I'm going to take level 17 now and get all my full hit points back.
Yeah.
and plus some and everything.
Alright, so I know it's Saturday night, and we've decided we will probably try and keep meeting on Friday nights, which is our normal game night. So Friday nights around 10 or maybe a little bit beforehand, but we'll try and definitely start by 10 Central Time and play for 2 hours or so, maybe 3.
Give or take some.
We could always start earlier, but we have a hard time starting sooner. But anyways, we might try and shoot for some 3-hour sessions periodically. So the party is now descended into an underground chamber and has encountered the Dre once again in a slightly different location east of Tyrs. So
all it really means is I'm going to be eating somewhere else now.
And I mean, I guess I'm still on my mission to figure out how to save the world. My world, that is.
I just want to get rich.
You just want to get rich. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Like we said before, we're back Friday next week around 10 p.m. Central Time. And if you guys forget about that, you can always just check on our stream. And on the channel, we have our schedule, which is exactly what we just said. So yeah, thank you so much for showing up and listening, and
Watching.
have a good night.
see you next week.